Imagine looking at your own daughter and not knowing who she is. This happened to a 72-year-old father, and the warning signs were there long before. He looked directly at his daughter, paused for several seconds, and quietly asked, "Sorry, what was your name again?" Not because he was joking, not because he was distracted. He truly could not remember. And in that moment, his family realized something was terribly wrong. Most people think dementia begins suddenly, but for many families, it begins with tiny warning signs that seem harmless. And by the time people realize what is happening, the disease may already be progressing. Today, we're going to talk about the 7 early dementia signs you must never ignore, because noticing them early could change everything. Let me tell you about Robert. Robert was 72 years old, a loving father, a retired mechanic, a man who never forgot birthdays. His daughter used to joke that he remembered everything better than Google. If someone lost their keys, Robert found them. If someone forgot an appointment, Robert reminded them. He was sharp, reliable, independent. But slowly something changed. And at first, nobody noticed. It started with small things. Robert began asking the same questions twice. "What time are we leaving?" Then 5 minutes later, "What time are we leaving?" His wife laughed at first. "Welcome to old age," she joked. But the questions kept repeating. Again, and again, and again. This is where many families miss the first sign. Because normal aging can cause forgetfulness, but repeated memory loops are different. The brain is struggling to store new information. But what happened next scared the family even more. Warning sign number 1, repeating questions. A few weeks later, Robert started forgetting simple words. One afternoon at lunch, he pointed at a spoon and said, "Can you pass me the metal thing?" Everybody laughed. But Robert did not laugh. He looked embarrassed, because deep down, he knew something felt wrong. And over time, it became worse. He would stop mid-sentence, searching, waiting, trying desperately to find ordinary words. Warning sign number 2, trouble finding words. Then came the moment nobody could explain away. Robert got lost driving home from the grocery store, not in another city. Not somewhere unfamiliar, a store he had visited for years. He called his daughter and whispered, "I don't know where I am." That sentence terrified her, because this was not normal forgetfulness anymore. Getting lost in familiar places can be one of the earliest dementia warning signs, and many families ignore it until it becomes dangerous. And the next sign changed Robert's personality completely. Before we continue, if this is helping you, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next videos. Warning sign number 3, getting lost. Robert used to be calm, patient, easygoing, but suddenly he became suspicious. He accused family members of moving his belongings. He became irritated over tiny problems. And sometimes, he would sit silently for hours. No conversation, no interest, no emotion. Dementia does not only affect memory, it can slowly change personality too. And for many families, that is the most heartbreaking part. Warning sign number 4, personality changes. Then came the strange behavior. Robert began putting objects in bizarre places. His wallet inside the freezer, his glasses under the bathroom sink, his keys hidden inside a cereal box. Everyone loses things sometimes, but dementia often causes people to place items in locations that make no logical sense. And worse, they may accuse others of stealing them. That confusion creates fear, and fear creates frustration. But the next warning sign nearly caused a disaster. Warning sign number 5, misplacing items. One afternoon, Robert nearly gave thousands of dollars to a scam caller. The man on the phone sounded convincing, and Robert believed him. Luckily, his daughter arrived just in time. But that was not the only incident. He started leaving the stove on, forgetting to lock the door, wearing winter clothes in hot weather. Dementia affects judgment, and poor judgment can quickly become dangerous, not only for the person, but for everyone around them. Warning sign number 6, poor judgment. Then came the moment that broke his daughter's heart. Robert stood in the kitchen holding a kettle, frozen, confused. He had made tea thousands of times before, but suddenly, he could not remember the steps. That is when his daughter realized the truth. This was no longer ordinary aging. Daily routines were becoming unfamiliar. Cooking, paying bills, using the television remote. Simple tasks were turning into impossible puzzles. And that is one of the clearest dementia warning signs of all. But the most emotional moment was still coming. Before we continue, if this is helping you, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next videos. Warning sign number 7, trouble with daily tasks. A few weeks later, the family gathered for dinner. Everything seemed normal until Robert looked at his daughter, smiled politely, and said, "I'm sorry, remind me of your name again." The room went silent. His daughter felt her chest tighten, because this was the man who taught her to ride a bike, the man who walked her to school, the man who remembered every birthday for decades. And now, he could not remember her name. That moment changed the family forever. Now here is something important. Not every memory problem means dementia. Stress can affect memory. Poor sleep can affect memory. Vitamin deficiencies, depression, dehydration, and medication side effects can also cause confusion. But when multiple warning signs appear together, especially when they worsen over time, it is important to take them seriously. Early diagnosis matters, because catching cognitive decline early may help families plan treatment, improve safety, and slow progression in some cases. And most importantly, it gives families more time together. If you notice these signs in someone you love, do not panic, but do not ignore them either. Start by writing down what you observe. What happened? How often? When did it begin? Then schedule a medical checkup. And most importantly, approach the person with patience. Do not argue. Do not shame them. Do not constantly correct them, because confusion is frightening, and dignity matters. Sometimes the kindest thing you can give someone is calm understanding. Later, Robert's daughter said something she would never forget. She said, "I wish we had noticed the signs sooner." That sentence stays with many families, because dementia rarely begins with one dramatic moment. It begins quietly, a forgotten word, a repeated question, a wrong turn, a confused expression, tiny clues that slowly become impossible to ignore. And if this video helps even one family recognize those signs earlier, then sharing this message could truly change someone's life. If this video helped you, please subscribe for more senior health videos designed to help families stay informed, safe, and healthy. And share this video with someone you care about, because early awareness saves families from painful surprises later. Thank you for watching. And remember, sometimes the smallest warning signs are the ones that matter most.